Okay, let's dive into something that's been uh, making waves online. This whole claim you can earn pretty serious money, like maybe $100 a day.
Yeah, or even, I think some said like $5 per song, just
Yeah.
listening to music.
Exactly. And it's gone viral. There's this one video, over 500,000 views, thousands of likes, saying it works globally. Sounds, well, pretty tempting.
Oh, absolutely. It really hits that, dream of easy money online. And the site everyone's pointing to for this, it's bwave.work. That's our focus today.
Right. So for this deep dive, our mission is really to unpack what happened when someone actually tried it. We're digging into a YouTube video transcript where this person documented their experience.
Yeah, they went through the whole process sign up, trying the tasks to see if this whole get paid to listen thing on bwave.work is, real.
Let's see what they found out. We're going to follow their journey step by step.
Absolutely. See how the site works, what their experience was, and figure out if it's legit.
Okay, so first steps, getting onto the site, bwave.work, to sign up. How did that go?
Well, right off the bat, they said it felt a little strange. Like the main focus was on login, for people who already had accounts.
Less focus on new users.
Yeah, they create an account link was apparently smaller, harder to spot.
And they did something smart right away,
Yeah.
which is always good advice if you're checking out a site you're unsure about.
Definitely. Use a dummy email. Keep your main address out of it.
Good tip. So they tried the email sign up.
They did. Requested verification codes, but nothing. Requested again. Waited. Still nothing.
Oh, the codes just never arrived or didn't work.
According to them, the codes just wouldn't be accepted. They spent like 5 minutes just stuck there.
That's frustrating. Not a great start.
Not at all. So eventually they figured out the only way they could actually register was using the Google authorization button.
So bypass the email thing altogether.
Seems like it. That was the workaround they found.
Okay, so they're in. Now, the video that was promoting this site mentioned a sign-up bonus, something like $12.
Yeah, they saw a button for that, clicked it, and, well,
Nothing happened.
pretty much no confirmation message, no bonus added notification, just click. They sort of had to assume it maybe got added somewhere behind the scenes.
Invisible money.
Yeah.
Always reassuring. Okay, so sign-up mess sorted, potential phantom bonus. Now what? Finding the actual work, right? The tasks.
Exactly. The site apparently had other categories like Q&A, ghostwriting, downloading apps, that kind of stuff.
But the main event was the music, yo.
Right, the music promotion section. That's where the money for listening was supposed to be. They saw options for Apple Music, YouTube clips, Spotify.
All listed with potential earnings next to them.
Yep. Dollar amounts next to task titles.
So naturally, they went for the big ones first, aiming for that $100 a day.
You got it. Clicked on tasks listed over, say, $4. And every single time,
Insufficient quota.
bingo, that exact message, insufficient quota, over and over for anything above $4.
Weird phrasing. Did they know what quota meant in this context?
Not right away, no. So they just started clicking on like random lower value tasks, just to see if anything would happen. And this is where it got really interesting, according to their description.
Okay, tell me.
For some of those clicks on the cheaper tasks, the site just immediately popped up a success message.
Success? For doing what?
That's the thing. They said they didn't actually listen to anything. No music player loaded, no song played, not even a snippet.
Wait, hold on. They just clicked a button next to a song title and it instantly said success.
That's exactly what they reported. Click, success, no listening involved.
So the site pays you for clicking, not listening. That makes no sense.
Right. That was their immediate question. Is the payment just for the click itself? How is that music promotion?
Okay, so if they're just clicking buttons, how do they check if they'd actually earned anything from these clicks?
They found the earnings info down at the bottom of the page. It listed the tasks they'd clicked on.
And how much did it show?
It showed a total of $3.60. And it was marked as processing.
$3.60.
Okay.
Not exactly setting the world on fire. A long way from $100 a day.
Not even close. But right there on that same earnings section, they found the explanation for the insufficient quota thing.
Oh, yeah. What was it?
It explicitly stated that the maximum earning potential for their account on this free plan was only $4.
Ah, okay. So any task listed for more than $4 was just blocked because the daily limit was $4 anyway.
Seems like it. That finally made sense of the quota message, but still.
Still doesn't explain earning $3.60 for clicking buttons without hearing a single note.
Exactly. It felt completely disconnected from the premise. So their next step was, okay, how do I actually get this $3.60? Can I withdraw it? And is there any way to earn more than this $4 daily cap?
Right. The $1 million question, or maybe the $14 question. This led them deeper.
It did. They found a page outlining different membership plans.
The paid tiers.
Yep. There was the free plan they were on, maximum $4 a day, confirmed. Then the first paid plan.
What did that one promise?
That one supposedly let you earn up to $14 a day.
Okay, $14 a day. What was the catch, the cost?
The cost was listed as $16, but not monthly. $16 for a year.
$16 for a whole year to potentially earn $14 a day. That actually sounds kind of reasonable on the surface.
It does, doesn't it? Until you read the fine print, because that plan also required something called a performance bond.
Performance bond? What on earth is that?
It's basically a deposit. And for this $14 a day plan, the required performance bond was $300.
$300. As a deposit, what did they say it was for?
The site's explanation was, well, vague. Something about protecting the platform and employers from, quote, malicious actions by users.
Malicious actions. What malicious actions could you possibly take by clicking buttons? That sounds suspicious.
Very. And the user asking that exact question in their video, what does that even mean?
So what happens to this $300 bond? Do you get it back?
Supposedly. They said it's locked for 10 days after you deposit it. Then you can withdraw it, but only in installments.
Installments.
Yeah.
Did they say how big?
No, the video didn't specify the installment size, but here's the kicker they highlighted.
There's more.
Oh, yeah. If you decide to withdraw your $300 deposit, even in installments, you immediately lose the ability to complete tasks and earn anything.
Wait, even if you paid the $16 for the year?
Even if you paid the yearly fee. So, you pay $16 for access, put up $300 of your own cash, and if you dare to take your own $300 back, the access you paid for becomes worthless.
Okay, yeah. That's not just suspicious. That's starting to sound like a trap. I can see why they said things were looking very suspicious at that point.
Absolutely. It just doesn't add up. And then they looked at the highest plan.
Oh, boy. How much did that one claim you could earn?
Get ready for this. The top-tier plan supposedly allowed you to earn up to $680 per day.
$680 a day. From $14. That's a ridiculous jump. What's the yearly fee for that one?
$1,300 for the year.
Okay, $1,300 a year. And let me guess. Performance bond.
You know it. And this is where it just becomes completely absurd.
How much?
To unlock the potential to earn $680 a day, on top of the $1,300 yearly fee, you need to deposit a performance bond of nearly $198,000.
I'm sorry, did you say almost $200,000?
Yep. Just shy of $198,000 as deposit to click buttons.
That's unbelievable. Absolutely insane. Who would deposit that kind of money?
It's baffling, and this is precisely why the user in the video was very clear. They did not test these paid plans. They didn't pay the $16, let alone deposit $300 or, well, $198,000.
Should I hope not.
And they strongly advised anyone watching not to pay anything either.
That seems like extremely sound advice. Based on that investigation, this whole system just screams red flags.
Huge red flags. The user summarized them really well. That unclear, confusing deposit structure, these completely unrealistic earning claims that are directly tied to massive upfront payments.
And the most fundamental point they kept making.
Yeah, the fact that the platform wants you to pay them often a lot of money before you can supposedly earn anything, that's the classic warning sign.
Their advice was spot on. Whenever you see a platform or a site that wants you to pay before you earn anything, run. Simple as that.
It just flips the whole model of legitimate work upside down.
Now, something else came up in their video. They mentioned the name B-Wave sounded familiar even before they started testing the site.
Yes, exactly. While they were putting their findings together, they had that nagging feeling, like they'd seen or heard the name before.
So they went digging.
Yep, searched their old emails, and guess what?
Let me guess. Emails from B-Wave.
Bingo! Found a chain of emails from someone claiming to represent B-Wave dating back a couple of months. This person had emailed them 5 times.
5 times. Persistent. What did they want?
They were trying to get the YouTuber to do a sponsored video to promote B-Wave on their channel.
Ah, okay. Trying to buy some positive press.
Seems like it. And the YouTuber said even the first email felt off, suspicious, which is why they never replied or considered the offer.
Good instincts. Anything specific that seems weird about the emails?
Yeah, apparently in one of the later emails, totally out of the blue, the B-Wave person attached a document, a certificate.
A certificate of what?
Supposedly proving B-Wave was a legitimate registered company sent completely unprompted.
They just randomly sent proof of legitimacy. That
What?
is weird.
What was the YouTuber's reaction, too? They said it looks so weird, and they'd never dealt with a company that led by trying to prove it was legit before any real discussion. It just felt wrong.
Right. And let's be crystal clear. The person whose video we're dissecting, the one who actually tested the site, they never took money from B-Wave. They didn't do a sponsored promo.
Absolutely not. They were approached, thought it was sketchy, ignored the emails, and never promoted it.
Okay, so they declined. But then later, they saw this other video going viral, the one actually promoting B-Wave. What did their analysis find about that video's transparency?
This was a key point for them. They observed that the viral video pushing B-Wave had absolutely zero sponsorship disclosure.
Nothing at all.
Nope, no verbal mention like thanks to our sponsor, no little YouTube checkbox ticked to indicate paid promotion, nothing obvious in the description box up front. They contrasted it with how they disclose their own sponsorships.
So, total lack of transparency if it was paid. And how many links to B-Wave did that promoting video have?
They counted 4. 4 separate links pointing people to the B-Wave site, including one to their Instagram, all right there in the description.
4 links.
Mm-hmm.
Pushing a site that looks like it demands huge deposits from a video with no disclosure. It certainly paints a picture, doesn't it?
It really does. And it led the user who made the investigation video to state their strong belief, even without having, concrete proof like a contract, that the channel behind the viral video was paid for that promotion and just didn't disclose it.
Because why else would you push a site like that so hard?
That was exactly their reasoning. It didn't seem like a random discovery or a genuine find. Given their own experience being solicited, the lack of disclosure, the heavy promotion, it smelled like an undisclosed ad.
Okay, so let's bring this back to you, our listeners. What's the main takeaway here?
Well, the core findings from this deep dive, based on that user's experience, are pretty stark. B-Wave.work itself looks highly problematic. The payment structure, these massive required deposits, the unrealistic earnings, the fact that the work didn't even involve listening, it's all very suspicious.
And the way it was promoted, at least in that viral instance, lacked transparency about potential payment.
Exactly. So the big flashing warning light here, the thing to really remember, is what that user emphasized. Be incredibly cautious, extremely wary of any platform asking you to pay them money up front before you can earn anything, especially large sums.
It's such a fundamental red flag if it sounds too good to be true.
It probably is. The video we analyzed also touched on digital safety, and they mentioned that part of their video was sponsored by a service called Aura.
Right, and just to report what they said, Aura was presented as a kind of all-in-one digital security thing, helping protect against identity theft, financial fraud, online threats.
Yeah, mentioning features like a VPN, antivirus, password manager, stuff like that, usable across different devices.
And the video creator mentioned they had an affiliate link for Aura in their description, offering a free trial and noting they might get a commission if people signed up later at no extra cost. Just putting that out there as reported.
Correct.
Oh.
They also had a suggestion for viewers, a way to kind of fight back against potential scams online.
Oh, yeah. What was that?
They suggested that simply liking their video exposing the issue and leaving comments could actually help. The idea being that engagement signals to the platform's algorithm that this is valuable content, potentially helping more people see the warning and identifying channels doing legitimate exposés.
Interesting. Using the platform's own mechanics to highlight warnings. They also mentioned, as a contrast, that they had another video showing how they actually make money online.
Right. Yeah, they pointed viewers towards their other content discussing legitimate methods like using specific AI tools or generating free traffic from places like Pinterest. Real strategies, basically, as opposed to these questionable easy money schemes.
Okay. So, wrapping up this deep dive, the user's investigation into B-Wave.work really threw up some major red flags. That whole requirement to pay, often huge amounts, before you earn, plus the murky promotion. It's a cautionary tale.
Definitely. It's a really potent example of how appealing these online income claims can be, but how crucial it is to scratch beneath the surface and look for those hidden costs and suspicious practices.
Absolutely. Which leads us with a thought, in this online world filled with tempting offers and sometimes hidden promotions, how do we get better at spotting the difference? How do we tell a real opportunity from a really sophisticated scam?
And what other easy money claims floating around out there might deserve a much closer, more critical look? Something to think about.